The office was quiet, the only sound the steady, rhythmic ticking of a clock that seemed to echo the heartbeat of every patient Dr. John had ever treated. He sat at his desk, his hands clasped, looking at a set of charts that told a story of exhaustion and strain. Across from him, a man in his late 60s looked puzzled. He ate well, he walked daily, and yet his heart was showing signs of a battle it was losing. "Did you know," Dr. John began, his voice dropping to a serious, resonant tone, "that the way you sleep tonight could quietly push your heart toward danger without a single warning sign? What I'm about to reveal may seem unbelievable, even trivial, yet it affects millions of older adults across America every single night." He leaned forward, his eyes locked onto the patients. "I am Dr. John, and I have spent more than 2 decades caring for seniors whose hearts have carried them through a lifetime of joy, work, and challenges. Again and again, I have watched strong, independent people walk into my clinic with heart problems that weren't caused by disease alone. Instead, the culprit was something far more subtle, the very position they settled into when they closed their eyes at night. We aren't talking about dramatic accidents or rare medical conditions," he continued, gesturing toward the window where the sun was beginning to set over the American horizon.
I'm talking about the ordinary habits you follow every night, the posture you settle into without thinking, the angle of your head, the curve of your back, and the way your chest expands or compresses as you breathe. What seems harmless, even comforting, can slowly weaken your heart, strain your circulation, and steal the critical rest your heart desperately needs as you age. Stay with me. By the end of this journey, you will understand exactly which sleeping positions are damaging your heart, why older adults are especially vulnerable, and what simple changes can protect your heart starting tonight. If you're ready to reclaim your health, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. If you're with me, type 1 in the comments below.
Let's begin with a habit that many of us consider the gold standard for a straight spine, Dr. John said, standing up and gesturing toward a medical model of the human torso: back sleeping. Many seniors in America prefer sleeping on their backs, believing it's the best way to reduce joint pressure. But there is a hidden danger here: the height of your head. When your head lies too low, or when you use a soft pillow that sinks over the hours, you are unknowingly setting a trap for your cardiovascular system. He adjusted his glasses, his expression focused. As we reach our 60s and 70s, the tissues in our throat naturally relax more than they once did. When you lie flat, gravity pulls those tissues downward, narrowing your airway. Your heart, which should be resting, is suddenly forced to beat harder and faster just to move oxygen through your blood, while your lungs quietly struggle in the background. I've seen patients describe waking up exhausted despite an 8-hour sleep, never realizing their hearts spent the entire night working overtime in a desperate battle for air. For many, simply raising the head of the bed or using a supportive wedge pillow is the difference between a heart that is drowning and a heart that is thriving. But the risks don't end there, Dr. John continued, his tone shifting. Next, we have the right side strain. There is a quiet belief among many older adults that sleeping on the right side is harmless, perhaps even the most natural position.
However, as the heart loses its youthful resilience, it becomes far more sensitive to fluid shifts and internal pressure. When you lie on your right side for long stretches, gravity changes the way blood returns to your heart. This increases the workload on the heart's right chambers, the very ones responsible for collecting blood from the body. Instead of entering a state of recovery, your heart is pushed into a state of quiet overexertion. For someone already managing high blood pressure or mild valve disease, this position can create a surge of nighttime stress that slowly erodes your heart's strength. Shifting to the left side or using a supportive body pillow can often relieve this pressure, allowing your heart to finally find the peace it needs to heal.
Now, we must address a habit that many have carried since childhood, Dr. John said, his expression becoming increasingly grave: stomach sleeping. While it may have felt comforting and safe when you were younger, as you cross into your 60s and 70s, this seemingly harmless posture transforms into a direct assault on your cardiovascular system. It is perhaps the most taxing position an aging body can endure, placing silent pressure on the heart and lungs at the very stage of life when they are most vulnerable. He leaned over a model of the rib cage to illustrate his point.
When a senior lies on their stomach, the entire weight of the upper body presses downward against the chest. Your ribs cannot expand fully, and your diaphragm, your most important breathing muscle, is trapped against the mattress. This restriction significantly reduces your lung capacity, lowering the oxygen levels your heart depends on. To compensate, your heart, already stiffened by the natural process of aging, is forced to pump with frantic intensity just to keep enough oxygen in your bloodstream. You might be asleep, but your heart is running a marathon against the resistance of your own body weight. Even more concerning is the position of the neck, Dr. John continued, gesturing to his own. To breathe on your stomach, you must turn your head sharply to one side. This unnatural twist can compress the arteries that carry blood to the brain and strain the nerves that regulate your heartbeat.
This is why many older adults wake up with a pounding heart or a sudden jolt of breathlessness, never realizing their posture was the cause. For someone living with hypertension or atrial fibrillation, this nightly oxygen deprivation and physical strain are a dangerous combination. It is a quiet, invisible assault that accumulates night after night, slowly wearing down the resilience of an organ that has served you faithfully for decades. Shifting away from your stomach is not just about comfort, it is about giving your heart the space and the oxygen it needs to survive the night.
Across the United States, I have seen a growing trend that worries me deeply, Dr. John said, stepping toward a comfortable-looking armchair in the corner of the room. Countless older adults have unknowingly turned their favorite recliner into their nightly bed. It usually begins innocently. Perhaps your breathing feels a little easier when sitting up, or you found that lying flat in a traditional bed causes discomfort. Over time, the recliner becomes a place of safety. But what feels like a solution is often a dangerous illusion that quietly sabotages your circulation while you sleep. He gestured to the lower half of the chair. When you sleep in a half-seated position, your body settles into a posture where the hips remain flexed and the legs hang just low enough for gravity to take its toll. During the day, your heart already struggles to pump blood from your feet back up to your chest. By sleeping this way, you force your heart to fight that gravity battle all night long. Instead of resting, your heart works overtime against the resistance created by swelling and restricted blood flow. I've seen so many seniors wake up with heavy, swollen ankles and a pounding chest, never realizing their heart never settled down. Transitioning back to a proper bed with an adjustable base or a wedge pillow is essential to giving your heart the relief it desperately needs. But there is another position just as deceptive, Dr. John added, and that is the fetal position.
Curling into a tight ball is a natural reflex for comfort, but as the years pass, this posture becomes a physical cage. When you pull your knees toward your chest, you compress the space within your ribcage. Your lungs can only take shallow sips of air instead of full, deep breaths. For a heart that is already managing the effects of aging, this lack of oxygen is a constant stressor. You may find emotional warmth in the curl, but your heart finds only struggle. By aligning your spine and anchoring your body, you allow your heart to breathe again, ensuring it stays strong enough to carry you through many more years of memories.
"We have traveled through the quiet hours of the night together," Dr. John said, his voice softening as he sat on the edge of his desk, looking directly into the camera with a warm, steady gaze. "And while some of what we've discussed may feel daunting, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not powerless. The message rising above all else today is that your heart has worked a lifetime for you, and now it simply needs you to work for it. Aging doesn't have to mean a slow descent into exhaustion. It can be a journey of wisdom and intentional care." He leaned forward, his expression filled with genuine empathy. The heart of a senior is a magnificent, resilient organ, but it is no longer as forgiving as it was in your youth. It doesn't rebound from strain as quickly, and it doesn't hide its discomfort as quietly. But by making these small, deliberate changes, lifting your head, opening your chest, uncurling your legs, and returning to a proper bed, Anda sedang memberikan ruang bagi jantung Anda untuk bernapas. You are relieving years of silent pressure in a matter of weeks. You aren't seeking perfection. You are seeking space, oxygen, and the freedom for your body to recover. This is your blueprint for a stronger, longer life, he concluded, his smile widening. Imagine waking up with a heart that feels light, a mind that feels sharp, and a body that is ready to embrace the day. That is the power of protecting your sleep.
I want to hear from you now. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned today in the comments below. Let's build a community where we support each other in these truths. If this message resonated with you, please type 1 and share this video with someone you love. Your future self is waiting for the rest you deserve. I'm Dr. John, and here's to living life on your own terms.